Hey guys, my name is Kamal Sharma and in this video we'll talk about application deployment strategy. Deploying an application is equally important as its design and development. Deployment is itself a skill and most of the work is handled by a DevOps engineer, but system design interview is to assess the candidate's ability to build software systems. So understanding the software deployment process and different strategies are really important. We will talk a little bit on some common deployment strategies. First is BlueGreen. BlueGreen strategy suggests to have two production versions of a system running at the same time. The old version is called blue and the new version is called green. The blue version would receive live traffic and the green version can be used for end-to-end testing. If everything looks good, then traffic is switched to the green version. This strategy is good if we need to perform end-to-end testing with a similar production environment. Blue-green deployment can be hard for stateful applications and again, it is very costly. So choose wisely. Next, let's talk about some pros for using blue-green strategy. Zero downtime. Migration from blue to green strategy would not require any downtime. So it would help us for better customer experience. Quick rollback. Since blue and green servers are identical, so rolling back is very easy. Less error prone release. With well automated parallel testing, the new release would be less error prone. Along with that, there are some challenges in this strategy. The first challenge is live user sessions. All the live users who have sessions stored on the current server would be dropped if all requests migrate to the green server. So all the active sessions needs to migrate and sync on both blue and green servers. The next challenge is database compatibility. Blue-green strategy can be challenging if database changes are not forward or backward compatible. These situations can happen if deployment has major schema change. Data syncing. Blue and green server both have separate databases. Sometimes data can be out of sync, so it needs to be take care of all the serving requests so data can be synced. Testing automation. We need to set up a CI/CD process to automate the provisioning, deployment and testing process so all the new features can be tested end-to-end before switching to the green server. The next challenge is cost. Cost is a major factor in blue-green strategy because it needs a lot of resource cost to run two parallel infrastructure. Next strategy is canary deployment. Sometimes testing needs to be done on live traffic and canary deployment is the most eligible strategy for that. In the canary deployment strategy, a small portion of traffic is sent on the new service based on certain conditions. So users who meet the conditions would be able to see the new version, while remaining would see the old version. If testing succeeds, then roll out the new service completely, otherwise abort the deployment. Let's talk about some of the benefits of this strategy. Again, no downtime, easy rollback and less user impact. If something goes wrong, we can easily roll back to the previous version. Since we are only sending traffic to a certain percentage of users, so in case of rollback, a very few percent of users would be affected. Next, let's talk about some challenges. First time setup process takes time. Once the deployment pipeline is set up successfully, further deployment would be smooth. Canary deployment strategy is costly because it needs additional infrastructure. The major challenge in canary deployment is user selection. It should cover all the scenarios. For example, if you choose all users from a certain region, then it may be another region or country might face issues because of heavy density. Next, we will talk about A/B deployment. This strategy is quite similar for canary deployment, but motivation is different. In A/B deployment, service is only deployed to a few instances and a small fraction of traffic is sent to the new users, and on the basis of user response, you can decide which version would be continued. This kind of testing is usually done to make business decisions based on data. There are a lot of benefits for using A/B deployment strategy: no downtime, easy rollback, user feedback, and database decision. With A/B deployment strategy, we can get early user feedback on the new features and make their decisions based on that. The business decisions can be data-driven. For example, how users from different countries or regions react on the feature. Next, we will talk about some challenges. Time and cost are major challenge. Along with that, two major challenges are there in A/B deployment strategy. First is user selection and is testing decision. Right user selection can be challenging, otherwise it would return stale data and affect data-driven decision. The major challenge with this strategy is validating all the traffic metrics and user behavior. It would highly impact the business decision. Next is recreate strategy. In this strategy, the existing version of the system needs to be shut down and then a new version would be deployed. This strategy is very simple, but there would be downtime and users would be very much affected. So this strategy should be used if a completely new system needs to be deployed and scrapping the old one. The main benefits: in this strategy is it's easy, cost effective, and no version management. The major challenges are downtime, no rollback, and high user impact. This was the brief details about application deployment strategy. If you have any questions, comment or message me on LinkedIn. Thanks for watching.